Roll Call 219, and today I went and shot my Canik TP9SF. This is the gun I traded for the SD9VE at one of the shops around my area. I traded this gun for the SD9 just because the SD9, the Smith & Wesson, would not run at all. Something had to do with the magazines. I don't have a whole lot of patience with guns that won't run. Don't really want to send it back to Smith & Wesson. Don't really want to do anything in the time of the row. It eats up a lot of time sending the gun back and then receiving it back into my hands, and I haven't had good luck with shipping. So today I took the gun out and I shot about almost 200 rounds with it. I split it between that and my CZ P10C just for comparison on which gun I would preferably shoot or carry. And of course my CZ won out. I shot that gun a lot better than I did shoot the Canik. The Canik, it felt all right in my hand. There was some similarity to the CZ P10C, but ultimately that gun seemed to have two hiccups. At first I thought it was light primer strikes, and then after reviewing the footage after shooting, it was a fail to go into battery twice. So at first I thought it was light primer strikes or hard primer or something of that nature, and it just seemed the gun was having trouble cycling. I've seen this gun in some, I guess you would call them torture tests, and it kind of failed when it hit mud or something like that. This gun failed without any mud in it or anything of that kind of pressure put on the firearm. When I did get the gun home and took it apart to clean it, because I did not clean it prior to doing this range session, just to see what it would do, just not cleaned and just dirty. And the gun looked like I had put, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 rounds through it. It was that dirty. It took me a while to clean the gun. So that tells me the person that traded this gun in, they were either having problems with it not going into battery, or they just did not take care of this gun, because it was awful filthy. Unless the ammunition I was shooting, which was 124 grain Blazer brass, unless that stuff was ultimately dirty, I don't know if the person that owned this gun previously before me ever cleaned their gun. And I think when I did the unboxing, I talked about it. I was going to shoot this gun without cleaning it to see how it performed, and then I was going to take it home and clean it and shoot it again, and then again see how the results would change, or if they would stay the same. Hopefully they don't change or they don't continue with the problems that I had with it, and they do change without any hiccups. Coming up, you'll see me kind of look at the gun kind of funky. I did hold it down range just in case, something was going on with the firearm, if it was a light primer strike. And I'll hold the round up to the camera and there's no primer strike on it. So after reviewing it again, the footage, the gun failed to go into battery twice. So that's a problem. Hopefully I've rectified it with cleaning the firearm extensively and getting all the muck and grime out of it. I don't think the place that I bought the gun from cleans the guns when they receive them either on a straight out buy or a trade-in. And I think for future reference for people that watch videos, you might want to take that into perspective when you do this. If you can see, I just looked at the camera and said malfunction. It's really hard to catch. You would really have to go back and slow it down. And as I show it, I thought it was a light primer strike. It's not. It's just not going into battery at this moment. So I put the round back in and shoot, and it shot the rounds. Again, in this take, you can actually see the gun jump back out of battery and back into battery. And I thought again to myself, you know, is this a light primer strike or what's going on with the gun? It should be coming up here in a few. You can see the gun kind of jump out of battery and then go back forward here in a few minutes. See it, how it just moved a little bit? So at that point, I cleared the firearm and held it downrange. I didn't know if the gun was going to go off or what was going to go on with it. So I took the round out, looked at the round to see if, again, it was a light primer strike or anything like that. As you see, I looked at the camera and said another malfunction. So that was the problem that I had with the firearm, and I put the rounds back in there and shot the rest of it, and it shot fine at that point. So again, I had 2 malfunctions with this gun, and I'm not sure if that's going to be rectified anytime. So if you got this far in the video, thank you. So that's a little bit of voiceover from going to that range. The reason why I had to go to that range is the farm is under construction now. There's a lot of stuff going on over there. I don't want to get in those guys' way. I don't want to bother them. So I didn't have the opportunity to go there and shoot, or I would have had this video done a lot sooner. That range, and don't mind that old guy and a couple of his buddies next to me. At that range, there's specific rules that you have to follow when you're there. There's 5-minute intervals, 5 minutes of shooting, 5 minutes of going and getting your targets, and you have to clean up your brass and stuff. You can't touch firearms when they're on the shooting bench, and these guys just, you know, they always say with age comes wisdom. I guess they left their wisdom at home because they continuously got yelled at for not following direction. I don't care who you are. That screws everybody up that's on the line. It's irritating when that has to go because they don't like stop time when people start getting in trouble. They'll pull everybody off, and then you go back there. But that runs your time limit. So don't mind those old guys. That's why there's a lot of cutaways in there and things like that, because people just can't follow direction. So I shot the gun today. It shot well. I did have 2 malfunctions. When I was going back over the video, editing this thing, at first when I was there, I thought it was light primer strikes or failure to fires or something of that nature. It wasn't. It was failures to go into battery. When I unbagged this gun, I guess, this is the gun that I traded in for my SD9VE. That gun had all kinds of problems, and I don't have time for that. Sending stuff off and trying to receive it during the bugaflu, that it seems to be everybody's excuse nowadays when you don't get stuff on time. I didn't want to have to deal with that, and plus my money's been stolen online from companies, so that doesn't help as you know anymore. So I don't want to have to deal with that gun anymore. So I traded it off for this Canik. Now, I was gonna do a shooting with this gun without cleaning it, and then shooting it when it was cleaned. I think that may have contributed to the 2 malfunctions because when I got the gun home and I took it apart, that thing was absolutely filthy. I think the previous owner that had it before me never cleaned that gun at all. For the time period, for whoever had it, how many other people had it, I don't think they ever cleaned that gun. Could that have contributed to the malfunctions? Quite possibly. I've seen this gun go through other YouTubers' gauntlets that they do, and that gun has failed when it like hits mud or something. I didn't dip this thing in anything. I just took it out and shot it, and it malfunctioned twice. So with that, I think may have caused it. Again, I shot Blazer brass 124 grain. That stuff is usually clean. When I took my CZ apart, because I took that with me, it wasn't as near as dirty as that gun. But I didn't put that many rounds through my CZ. So there's a little bit of discrepancy there. So with that gun not being clean, could that have caused malfunctions? Yes, it probably pretty much could have. I don't know for sure. Or maybe when you go and buy used firearms, sometimes you inherit other people's problems. Let's face it, the last few weeks, anything that I bought, it's broke or malfunctioned in some form or fashion. So I haven't had good luck. So you guys should be happy that I'm clearing all the lemons off the market for you folks. That's what I do for you. So in essence, is this gun gonna run? I believe it will. Now that I've cleaned it, I believe it's gonna probably function a little bit better than what it did. And if it doesn't, then I'm not gonna take time to call Canik or anything. I'm gonna get rid of this gun as well. I just don't have time to continuously send guns back and wait and wait and wait. And that should give you some perspective. If like somebody got this gun, it was the gun that they can only afford, and it malfunctions on them. So you got to put all this stuff into perspective. I have plenty of other firearms that I can go to, but if it was somebody else, you might have to think differently. So shooting this gun, it felt all right. It kind of reminded me of my CZ. Your hand doesn't sit so much forward of the firearm as a CZ. At times I thought the gun was maybe a little bit too big for my hands. I don't have huge hands, so that kind of was something that may in the future kind of concern me with this gun. Again, I could just tell that it's holding the recoil pretty good, and I can see the hype that everybody puts towards Canik and how flat shooting they are and things of that nature. It's just gonna have to probably grow on me. I don't have any other back straps for it. It's a used gun. It was an as is, so that's what you get. Now, with the magazines, I could fit 20 rounds in one magazine and 18 in the other. And then, if you have one in the pipe, do your math on that. That's another drawback of this firearm. With what we're going through with the ammunition crunch, this isn't a gun I would advise you to take to your friend's house, to go to the range, to go have a good time plinking. It will suck rounds up. And with the 9mm ammo crunch right now, where you can't find that stuff anywhere, that would cause a problem for you. Especially if you could only get your hands on a box or two. Usually I'll run guns until I get to about the 500-600 mark before I feel like it's reliable enough without any malfunctions, and I'll carry the firearm. This one, I shot about 130 rounds, I would say, maybe 135 rounds through this gun, and it had 2 failures, and they were to go into battery. Again, I thought it was something different. I even held the gun pointing the muzzle downrange just in case something else would happen, but it was just failures to go into battery. Again, is that because the gun was absolutely filthy? Quite possibly. So now that I've cleaned it, hopefully I can get my hands on some more 9, and we can go back and we'll put in hopefully at least another 200 rounds through it. That would cap off about 300 and some odd rounds with this gun. So that's a setback of those guns. If you have big hands, this gun's probably going to fit you really well. With me, I don't have huge hands. A lot of my guns are small micros or mid-sized firearms because I can manipulate those type of guns really well. Shooting the gun, it was flat shooting. I hit the target. It does soak up recoil. Again, like I said, I can see why people like Canik. We'll have to determine further down the road whether this gun's going to stay or if it's going to go. Right now, I'm going to give it a pass just because I wanted to shoot it without cleaning it, and I want to shoot it with it being cleaned and see what kind of different results I get, or if I keep on getting the same results. We'll have to figure that out in the long term. Again, there's an ammo shortage, there's an ammo crisis, ammunition. I went to a local sports store today, nothing, absolutely nothing. I did find a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but nothing that I was hoping to like run into at least a box of 9mm. No, that's not happening. So if I can get my hands on another box or two of 9, we'll go back out and shoot this gun and see how it performs now that it's cleaned. So those are just two drawbacks of it. One, it kind of felt oversized for my hand, and two, it had malfunctions. And then I'll throw a bonus in there is don't go to a public range with people that can't follow direction. That kind of messes up your rhythm as well. But I'll put a picture here and show you the group that I was getting. It wasn't fantastic by any means. I was shooting about at 10 yards at about, I don't know, maybe it was an 8-inch circle, one of those sticky targets. So we'll go back and revisit this gun when I can get my hands on some more ammunition. With all that being said, I want to first and foremost thank everybody that's donated to the channel. I truly do appreciate it. My Patreon folks and the people that gave me donations, you made this video happen today. I was able to get my hands on 200 rounds of ammunition, and with your donations, I was able to, accommodate this video because of you. And I want to thank you so much for you guys hanging in there and donating. It benefits the channel, and this is what you saw today, and I greatly appreciate it. And all you guys that are sending me stuff, the 700 subscriber giveaway is coming up. I think we're about 30 some odd subscribers from it, which is fantastic. And I hope to reach that goal soon, because there's a lot of people that sent me a lot of stuff that I'm going to throw into this package. It's not going to be like the greatest of all, but it's going to be really cool. There's some really awesome patches that you may not have in your little collection if you collect patches, along with some stickers. And I'm going to throw in some bonus stuff. I think I have an Olight product in there that I'm going to throw in there as well. So it's going to be a pretty good giveaway at this point. But this is all because of you guys for taking the time out of your busy lives and your schedule to help the Roll Call 219 channel. And I can't thank you enough for that. It's so humbling. There's a couple more videos that are going to be coming out because of you guys, the subscribers and the people that donate. You guys make this channel happen. And I'm great. I'm appreciative of each and every one of you guys. Again, I'll throw some links down in the video if you guys want to donate to the channel. If you still are going through the bugaflu stuff, don't donate. Don't do it. Save that money for you and your family, and put it towards you guys. We're not in a crisis here. It is kind of getting crunch time with certain aspects of it, but there's a lot of people out there that are kind of struggling, and you guys that are struggling need to keep that money in your guys' pocket, in your guys' household. I'll find a way, hell or high water, to keep getting stuff for the channel one way or the other. So again, I'll throw some links down there for people that can afford it to donate to the channel. And then the giveaway's coming up, so stay tuned for that. That spared no expense. So I want to again thank you guys for that, and the guys on Patreon, I can't thank you enough. The people that donated and the people on Patreon made this video, and when I had the opportunity to get 9mm, I got it. So when it comes around, I try my damnedest to get it. It's so hard to get right now. We're all struggling and experiencing this. So I want to thank everybody that's on Patreon, the people that walked up and just gave me donations. You guys are 100% solid in my book. So look out for all this stuff that's going to be coming up on the channel. I have a really special thing that's on loan to me that I'm gonna I might put together, or I might do something really special with it. So stay tuned for that. Again, like, comment, and subscribing and sharing all the videos helps out tremendously, just as much as that petrodollar. So please continue to do that. That's worth its weight in gold. So again, I want to thank you guys for the people that are sharing the videos and liking and commenting on them. Interaction is it's what it's all about here on YouTube, and I tried to get to every comment that I can get to. And if I miss your comment, let me know, man. Throw it somewhere, it'll come up, and I'll answer your question, or I'll answer your comment any way I can. So again, I want to thank you guys all over that have been helping the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Again, with all that being said, I'd like to thank my old and my new subscribers, just the people that zip through. I greatly appreciate it, guys. I really do. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share your favorite gun content all over the interwebs, no matter who you watch. And like always, we'll be coming back, and we'll catch you on the next one.